Alright, so as you know, we had to halt the progress on this rust repair because I wasn't able to make that little body line. But then Ben reminded me that when we had the red 86, I ordered some rust repair panels and totally forgot about them, left them at Ben's, so just went and picked it up. Here's basically the piece. The reason why we're not replacing this whole piece is because although this is close, it's not close enough. Luckily the body line is close, this one right here. You can see there's that edge there where it's raised. So we're going to cut our piece out of this and hopefully weld it in. So first, let's cut out the rust, then use that as a template to cut out a replacement piece on this rust repair panel, then try to weld it in. I'm going to use my Dremel with metal cutoff disc because I think this gives me the most accuracy instead of just chooching in there with the angle grinder and accidentally cutting off half the car. This is the area I want to cut out because I've ground back the paint way further outside of this, and there's a pinhole here, this hole, this pinhole, and then here's the rust. This is the area we need to cut out. I kind of just masked it off as a rough outline. I'm going to come slightly inside this for like a straight down cut. And then I'm going to take this whole piece, hopefully it stays together, I'm kind of worried about up here, and then lay it on top of the rust repair panel and then cut the shape out. Alright, that was insanely stressful. There's the inside of the piece we cut out. So let me start digging around in there, cleaning it up, and then pick the camera back up. As you can see here, we have our piece we cut out. Look, I don't know if you can see it because this edge is kind of, but this metal is literally tinfoil. But so you can kind of see what we're going to do here. We're going to trace it and cut it out. We're going to go a bit bigger on the bigger side for the material that was lost. And yeah. Alright, I pulled the plug out. That was right there. It's right here. And now I'm kind of just pushing all the junk that was in there out this hole. We got a good pile of like dirt, a little bit of rust and stuff here, but I'm going to get this all out, blow it out, really do a thorough weld through primer in this area. And then once this is welded up, I'm going to come back through this hole with some rust converter just to kind of coat the inside of this area. I just realized that from in here, you can fully see down into this area, you know? So, this is cool. I'm going to try to get my drill in there and get rid of some of this rust. But what's cool about this is that when I'm done, I can really paint the back of the repair. Now that we have that area pretty much cleaned in and know I can get access from the back, I'm going to use some weld through primer to kind of coat the inside of the area where we will be welding, like all the edges on the inside. Then I'm also going to coat the piece we're welding in this stuff. And then once this is all said and done, I'm going to come in from that kind of access hole I showed you and spray the whole area with rust converter and then spray over that with a rust paint. Whole car's getting resprayed, so I'm not too worried about that. And then figure out our tolerances for how much bigger the piece we cut out needs to be than this piece. Alright, this dookie piece is now traced onto here. I'm going to go a bit wider outside these lines and then use the Dremel with like one of those little grinding stones to bring the edge in, because I can always trim the metal more, but I can't add more metal. Also, we're ripping a Petch Bubbly. Let me know what you're sipping along on down in the comments, but God, now I understand why the shops didn't want to do rust repair, because it sucks. This piece is cut out. Now I'm gonna switch Ritz bits on the Dremel to this kind of little grinding stone and clean up the edges. And I cut a bit bigger because obviously you can always take off more material. So you can see now I'm gonna use the grinding little stone piece to, you know, really dial it in. So alright, after way too long of taking the piece off, grinding down corners, taking the piece off, grinding down corners, got it as close as it's gonna get. So now I'm gonna pull it off, clean up the corners really quick, clean up the edges, and then coat this inside with the same weld through primer so we can maybe tack it in. Yeah, the gap's a little bigger than I'd like, but you know what? That's what we're working with. We're about to lay down our first tack. Because we're doing flux core and there's so much heat created and the panels on this car are so thin, which is less than ideal, we're just going to do one tack, let it fully cool down, just go tack by tack, even if it takes the rest of today and tomorrow. Alright, places everyone, the shit show's about to start. First two tacks completed. I won't show you my welds too close up as per usual because they're horrendous. Yeah, basically I'm just gonna probably wait like 10 minutes in between each tack, spread them out, and yeah, see what we can do. Try to warp this as little as possible, and yeah. So yeah, we're here at a distance so you can't see my welds, but there's tacks now all the way around. So I'm just going to keep going around slowly and just keep adding tacks every once in a while, allowing it to cool in between. We are slowly but surely getting there. Huge breaks in between the welding sessions to try to not warp the panel, but a little bit of warpage is to be expected. Alright, so just a few little spots left where I can see there's holes, and then I'm going to grind it back, and then any holes that come up after the grinding I'll fill. Yeah. Alright, well I'm pretty much done for today. That's where we're leaving her. Looks kind of dicked because it's all different levels of grindedness, but obviously a little skim coat of filler when we do all the body work, because obviously we gotta do the flare. And Torrance come over and try to pull that and then weld on the flare and then do all the body work on this car. So that's when this will get some filler on it. I still got a little bit of grinding to do tomorrow, but I want to space it out for heat purposes, and I'm kind of over it because I've been at it for way too long today. But the coolest part about this is we get to do it again on this side. Let's see how bad this rust is when we grind it back. Fun, fun, fun. This is so much fun. Don't buy an 80s Toyota because they suck wiener and they're crusty. Yeah, So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. But, yeah, that was a terrible time. Excited to do some fun stuff on this car. See, we still gotta weld these in. Those will be easy though, because that's simple. Same with that. But yeah, these little pockets here are heinous. The flare's gonna be heinous too, but gotta do it. You gotta do it. You know, we're not gonna Sean it. Our friend Sean, he just chooches spray foam in there. Fiberglass, but metal is better. So, anyway, comment down below. Please like the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Also, merch link in the description as always. Pick up some swag to support the boys. And see you in the next one.